He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife. St. Patrick's Day Slamdown. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. Yes, it was St. Patrick's Day yesterday, and that brought us a Slamdown. In the red, white and blue corner, representing the royal family, we have the Princess of Wales, who put money behind the bar for soldiers as she took part in her first solo St. Patrick's Day parade as Colonel of the Irish Guards. The Princess, wearing a bottle green Alexander McQueen coat and regimental brooch, caught up with the troops and their families over half a pint of Guinness, telling them how much she had missed taking part in last year's ceremony. The Princess was forced to miss last year's parade after major abdominal surgery. The previous year, she was accompanied by her husband, the Prince of Wales, shortly after taking over from him as Colonel. Revealing that she had put money behind the bar for this year's celebrations, the Princess said, "It's the least I can do." On Monday, she appeared delighted to be reunited with the regiment, beaming on arrival at Wellington Barracks in central London, where she was greeted by Major General Sir Chris Geeker and Lieutenant Colonel Ben Irwin Clark before meeting their wives and families inside. Leaning down to shake hands with Rory Irwin Clark, aged 6, she said, "You're 6. You're the same age as my Louis. Are you a loose cannon too?" His mother, Carice, revealed that they often saw the princess at sports matches, as their daughter was the same age as Princess Charlotte at a nearby private school. The princess presented operational medals to soldiers who had recently returned from deployment in Iraq, as well as long service and good conduct medals before joining the parade outside. She then presented traditional sprigs of shamrock to officers and guardsmen, as well as Turlough Moor, otherwise known as Seamus, the regiment's Irish wolfhound mascot, bending down to give him an affectionate ruffle. The princess attached her own sprig to her lapel before taking the royal salute during a march past. After posing for photographs, she met Irish Guards veterans as well as junior cadets from Northern Ireland, known as Mini Mix. In the juniors' ranks dining hall, senior guardsman Barry Laughlin proposed a toast in her honour, before the soldiers gave her 3 cheers. The princess, clutching half a pint of Guinness, smiled broadly before lifting her glass in recognition and taking a sip. The relaxed gathering gave her the chance to speak informally to soldiers about their experiences, including those recently deployed overseas and others involved in training Ukrainian troops. She chatted to one group about the difficulties of being on deployment, noting, "Being able to manage that work-life balance, it's tough." She told Corporal Adam Hamilton, an Australian reservist, that she would love to return to Australia with her 3 children, having taken a 9-month-old Prince George on an official visit in 2014. "It's finding time to do that," she said, "but I love to travel. Yes, it's a long flight, but I love the Middle East because that's familiar to me growing up. There are so many opportunities now to travel, I think it's brilliant to experience it. We tend to go further afield when it's official visits. It's being able to carve out time to experience these countries in a more private capacity. Because otherwise, you end up seeing lots of insides of amazing buildings, but you don't get to meet that many people. It's making sure that you can combine a bit of work with the children. I might see you down there." The princess also chatted to section commanders in the bar about Prince William's beard. "These trends come and go," she said. "I was saying to my husband, I'm not sure how long he's going to keep his for." Expressing enthusiasm for the various different careers on offer in the army, the princess also revealed that she was particularly keen to help bolster recruitment. Senior Guardsman Laughlin said afterwards, "She wanted to know how things were going with the blokes in general. She was really nice and really warm. I was kind of flustered. You could tell she had a genuine interest in us." The event marked one of the princess's most high-profile solo outings since she embarked on a gradual return to public duties. Last February, the princess wrote to the regiment apologising for not being able to join them as she continued her recovery from abdominal surgery. And there we have the Princess of Wales, undertaking her role as the colonel in relation to the Irish Guards. Her praise is sung by those that met her, demonstrating she takes a genuine interest in the people that she speaks to, supping and half a Guinness, sticking money behind the bar. All of this done because she has genuine emotional empathy for the people that she is engaging with. She takes her role seriously. She arrives dressed appropriately and elegantly. Naturally, the palace wants to make good publicity of her attendance, and thus we get to read about it. But nobody's handshakes were interrupted by her hugging people inappropriately. She wasn't seen to grab the soldiers and pull them in for a hug as they looked rather uncomfortable. She took an interest in what they did rather than talking about herself. She didn't give a self-absorbed speech banging on about as a mum. She simply ensured that there was money put behind the bar so that everybody could enjoy a drink, and she discharged her obligations as the colonel, noting how sad she was not to have attended previously. It's class, it's elegance, it's somebody who understands their role and realises that it's not about her. On the other hand, in the beige corner, you have this one's wife, who also has a royal title. Whilst Catherine is Princess of Wales, this one's wife is the Duchess of Sussex. She utilised St. Patrick's Day not because she has any connection to Ireland, not even by the slimmest of associations that Catherine has of being the Colonel of the Irish Guards, but simply to demonstrate that as a mum she can make green waffles, or at least buy them. Yes, as I explained in an earlier video, we were treated to the performative exercise of this one's wife showing off that she can do things in the kitchen, which includes, it would appear, mixing around hulkgism, pouring into a waffle maker, giving a weird shrieking sound as some of it attempts to escape. Looks like everybody wants to get away from her clutches, including the Hulk jizz, and then playing music too loud in the kitchen whilst pretending that she's made something that children really enjoy, forcing them to make it look like they've slurped up their drinks. Notice there's nothing about giving. There's no involvement with other people. It's all about her. Now you might say, well, there's no role for her to perform because she isn't a working member of the royal family, whereas Catherine does have that. Absolutely the case. But notice this one's wife could have just stayed quiet. It wasn't necessary for her to put anything out on St. Patrick's Day. She's not Irish. She doesn't have Irish connections. Harry isn't Irish. Harry doesn't have an Irish connection. Therefore, if you wanted to celebrate it at home, do so. But you don't need to share it with the world, except she does, because she's a narcissist. And of course, it will not have escaped her notice that Catherine appeared at the Irish Guards barracks, that she was warmly welcomed, that she received favourable press coverage, that she looked elegant and suitably attired, and this will have got under the skin of this one's wife, prompting her later to release this video in order to nullify the threat to control that's posed by there being positive commentary about Catherine. Mark my words, this one's wife, as a consequence of her obsession in relation to the nemesis, keeps an eye on what Catherine is doing via the news. She'll just bang her name into Google to see what comes up. And it will have infuriated her to see her looking so beautiful, so elegant, posing for photographs with the Irish Guards, looking composed, engaging with people, whilst this one's wife wasn't doing anything other than being at home. And thus it necessitated her either deciding that she was going to create the green waffles, or that she'd already done so and filmed it, and therefore she was going to release it on Instagram in an attempt to try and wrestle some attention back to herself and away from Catherine. It really is a complete mismatch. On the one hand, you have a working royal who understands her role and discharged it impeccably. Suitably dressed, elegantly dressed, excellent photographs, taking an interest in the people around her and demonstrating her genuine warmth. In the other corner, you have a self-absorbed narcissist whose only thing that she can do is promote herself, making crap waffles with a kiwi fruit cut like a cat's anus shoved in the middle to horrify the kids. Who do you think succeeded in that particular Slamdown? I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.